Do you think tokenization is going to help direct our attention to where it needs to be?
Yeah. So, for example, there's this platform called in the crypto space. I've been looking for more information on tokenization, and basically, what that is that you take an asset that exists. It could be a house, a person, anything, and you basically create a unique digital representation of it. So, in the same way that your deed for your land represents that land, and this paper
Mhm.
represents it, imagine that deed now is electronic, but it's not just electronic and can be copied everywhere. That electronic version is unique and only exists in one space. So you have a USB key with your deed on it, and that's just as good as if you had the paper. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's like I was watching a Panic Room. Well, I'm about to watch it again. I've watched it 100 times already. But in the Panic Room, rich people's house in their Panic Room, there's a safe, and in the safe, they're like, "Oh, there are millions of dollars in the safe." Well, it wasn't millions of dollars; it was bearer bonds. And what are bearer bonds? It means if you hold this piece of paper, then you get $1 million. Like, and it doesn't matter if you stole this piece of paper. It doesn't matter. This physical piece of paper is so unique that you can put $1 million on this thing. So
Exactly.
tokenization kind of gives a digital version of this
Exactly. Just
this
like
piece
the,
of
the
paper.
$20 bill that you'll have in your pocket has a serial number on it, which makes it unique. And if there's two of them, well, all of a sudden one gets voided out. And so, what happens with tokenization is that tokenization is this process of converting physical goods into a unique digital thing. So, what does that mean? It means you might be able to own a piece. You might be able to own someone's real estate as a token. You don't need to actually have their house. You could have, let's say someone's renting out a home for Airbnb and you own 1/20th of that. You can get 1/20th of the revenue stream from that Airbnb because you have that digital asset.
I heard that some that football teams are going to be tokenized, and I can own a piece of that football team. That
Exactly.
the house in the Cayman Islands, they're going to be tokenized, and then I'm going to own a piece of that. I can own a piece of the Mona Lisa. Like
Exactly. Literally the
it's
value of it. So that means if you sell it, you get that part back. Just like if someone sold the Mona Lisa, they would get the money or the revenue stream. So if they rent out the Mona Lisa, you can get a part of the money automatically because it happens
insane.
digitally. They don't even have
Yeah.
to have this whole bureaucracy. You automatically get it as soon as anyways.
People need
So
to know about tokenization. It's
yeah,
absolutely insane. Like if you don't understand the future director, if you don't understand this aspect of crypto, this aspect of the blockchain, you are totally unprepared for what's coming next. 'Cause tokenization, as far as I understand it, as far as you've explained it to me, as far as I've seen online, is the game changer we've all needed.
it's like when shares started, like the stock market started. It's shares started with just companies issuing bonds for the company, and you had a share in their debts. So they would ask for $1,000. You would give them $1,000. They would get that from 100,000 people. They would have this money, spend the money, develop their business, be productive, get money, and then they would pay back your bond with interest. And a share, instead of doing the bond thing, you got a share of the company, which meant that all the earnings all the revenues for the companies, you would get a part of the earnings that they generated. So when the stock market started, it was like, I mean, I'm saying started. It started over hundreds of years, but let's say when it really came onto the scene, and it was accessible to people, it became an amazing source of revenue for companies. Like there's a reason why companies go from private to public. They get access immediately to a whole set of funds as they issue their shares, and the possibility of issuing new shares, and it's just a fantastic source of revenue. So now imagine that share process, but instead of for companies, for anything that has value, like you. So let's say you tokenize yourself. You can be like, okay, of all the money that I'm going to make in a given year, 50% of that will go towards let's say 10% of that I'm going to be given out as dividends. So I'm going to issue shares of myself, tokens of myself, and 10% of money that I get will be split amongst all the shares that are out there. So you might own a part of Tom, which seems like nothing if the shares is trading at $1 and I'm not making it a lot. But if I get famous, or you get the football player, or you get the politician, or whatever it is, all of a sudden you might get you have a share that you bought $1 for $1 that's worth Jeff Bezos amount of money, right? You have a share of Jeff Bezos. Can you imagine if people had a share of Jeff Bezos? How happy that would be! And it encourages people to then um, consider themselves as a brand. Like everything that you're doing, the knowledge that you have, you're seeing yourself of, I'm not only working for myself, I'm working for all the people who believed in me, that they own a share of who I am. And so I've been I've been enamored by that idea. That's really the thing in crypto that really got me started. That's what really captured my imagination. But I've been looking for these systems. I know the tokenization process is extremely difficult. And so someone's going to solve this problem of being able to tokenize things without programming code, without bureaucracy, without all the legal framework. Someone's going to take care of all that. And I've just been waiting for that to occur. Well, Rally.io, if you'll pull up the website, Peter, while I give this pitch, Rally is a platform that is trying to do exactly this. What they're trying to do is sort of like what Patreon did for YouTubers, right? YouTubers were getting less and less money from Google AdWords. It used to be you could make a living on that, and then they couldn't anymore. You needed millions of followers and the algorithm to love you in order for you to make it. So people were seeing the revenue cut in half, even more than that. And so one of the YouTubers, Jack Conte, created Patreon that allowed people to have the subscription service that you can subscribe to people's videos, and for all the videos that they put out, you're paying a monthly fee in order that goes directly to them. It's just to incentivize content creation and better content. But this still has this middleman of the platform. If I wanted to give money to a podcaster that I liked, I still needed to um, you know give $10, pay $10. It goes off into the ether. They get whatever they get, and it ends there. Whereas, or if I wanted to buy their T-shirt, right? I bought their T-shirt and I support their merchandise. They got a little bit of that, and that was it. But Rally, what they're doing is that they're creating a process where you can get a cryptocurrency created for your brand. So this is not Bitcoin. This is not Ethereum. This is a cryptocurrency that's, let's say, that's your own, a Peter token. And what happens is that you get to decide as a creator what
Or
are
a
the
happy
perks,
token.
or a happy token. You get to decide what the perks are. So you might say, if you have 50 of these tokens, then you get access to early content. If you have 100 of these tokens, not only get the access to early content, you get to buy music or my content at a discount, or whatever it is. The tokens themselves, owning it, can be like the perk system in Patreon. But then more than that, you can say, if you're going to buy this T-shirt, you can buy it for $10 straight, or 8 of my tokens, right? You can say, and then these tokens, because it's a cryptocurrency, what happens that, and they're limited supply, what happens is that they go up in value the more people participate in that. So the more fans this person gets who participate in this currency, your token might go up from $1, $2, $3, $4, $5. So you have this incentive to hold these tokens as an indicator of your participation in the network, and you have this incentive to get other people in because it makes it more valuable. And let's say you're done one day and you're finished with this, you outgrew this creator. Well, then you can sell these tokens, and now you're selling it might be 10 times higher, and you're getting back some value that you had put into the network, while the person still had you're not taking the money from them, right, from the creator. They still have the benefit of the increased value of the network. And there's all kinds of things that happen, like one of the things I did is that I went on Rally.io, and as a speculator, you could just buy tokens from people. You don't even have to like their content. So I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I get to own a part of a person? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. And I want to see what that was like. And so for about a month now, I've owned a basket of a basket of currencies, a basket of people, from Twitch streamers to
Okay, Tom, you can't dress like a slave owner and then speak in these slave owner terms. You know that
that's the
that
best
gray
compliment you've ever
spanking.
given me, Peter. It means I've moved up in the world.
Oh my god! Okay, go ahead.
So there's people who create art, people who are entertaining on Twitter or whatever it is, and cosplayers, all kinds of stuff like that. And I've been holding their stuff just to see, because you can't really understand something until you can't really understand someone until you fight them. You can't you can't really appreciate a token until you own it. And so I was very surprised to see that within a month, or a month and actually a month, the value of my portfolio went up by 20%. While Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the other tokens were going down. that means these tokens are uncorrelated with the broader crypto market. They're really their own ecosystems that ebb and flow based on the followers and the content that the person's creating. So if one of the people that I bought decided they're no longer doing their thing anymore, well, their token would drop in value. It makes sense. And as they get more popular, it would go up in value. And that's what you're buying, just like a share. And Peter, I cannot tell you how fascinating and how I'm like, how on earth there are people who started this thing just to test it out who now make their full-time money from the rally system, and the rally system isn't even, it's not even fully done yet. It's like they're on version 0.5 or whatever. They're not even fully done yet. It's still a little bit of a hassle to get started, but you don't have to do any code or anything like that. It's unbelievable. The you could see exactly where this can be. In fact, I could see it's such a no-brainer technology that I could see Bitcoin going to $0 and still these tokens are worth something. That's
Just like
a true ecosystem.
your Subway's points card will be worth whatever it's worth, even if the
Exactly.
economy goes down. Like these are the
Exactly.
points
This
I
to
can
me
get
is the
stuff.
first time I've seen something that's a proven. Um, even NFTs are not exactly the same way. They're sort of the same way that they're not necessarily correlated with the broader market, but they are correlated in hype. Like the Bitcoin goes up in value, so people go, "Oh, let me go get into an NFT." But when I'm buying a Jane token from Rally, I don't care what the price of Bitcoin is. Then I'm just trying to. I'm trying to get. I really like their like if Kid Boga issued a token, I would buy a Kid Boga token, and then he would get access to the
Instantly.
money. He can grow. He can have an ecosystem. It's just
Maybe I should tell
unbelievable.
Louis Rossman about it. Kid
Tell
Boga
Kid
used
Boga
to
about
do.
it. Let's get some Bogan tokens.
Well, Kid Boga doesn't have an uphill battle. That guy, it's like it's all greased. Like there's no resistance to him.
That's right.
He's just climbing. Louis Rossman's got to fight institutions, so
That's true.
he's going to need a lot more money behind it. Kid Boga is
Actually,
this.
yeah.
He's already making his living doing it. He's all set. Louis Rossman has a business and this other thing. I think it'd be actually right up his alley since he's in that tech world, that tech space.
Hmm.
He's repairing tech things. That conversation. He might want to consider tokenization just to I have this idea behind my principle making millionaires about empowering champions with money, folks. Okay, to insulate them from the slings and arrows that might come their way. Like we got to be able to. If Louis Rossman was a multimillionaire and our champion
That's
for
right.
right to repair, then what could they take away from him? Oh, take away your business. Well, these people are going to give me $1 million every year as long as I do this thing.
Exactly.
So what the hell? You want to take
Yeah.
away my business? You're going to make me more famous, more powerful, more capable because you might make me a martyr. Plus, I'm still a millionaire. I'm still coming after you
Exactly.
as asses.
And
So
you might want to consider, like, for this Black Money Matters idea, like, get some Black creators on Rally. Like, instead of, remember trying to figure out how to get the money to them and how to process the whole thing. Well, if you get them on Rally and then we go, okay, everybody, let's go to Rally and buy their tokens, right? We can make them millionaires like that without the middleman and go straight to them.
and then we could get some dividends based
That's right.
on.
We own their token. It's not them just becoming a millionaire. We can join the ride with them.
All right. I like that you said own their tokens because we're really walking the line between owning people
Dude, I'm just
and
waiting for a Django token so I can buy that. Okay, I'm looking for a Django NFT token.
this is how it is. Like if I call Tom and he has time to talk, this is it. This is how the conversations go. That and then a lot of slurs, a lot of terrible jokes. You get canceled like crazy. Facebook never release our messages because we'll totally get canceled.
Yeah, that's right.
But if you want to get a little bit of that, you can join a Telegram group, and you can participate in audio and chat conversations. We'll be a little riskier there, I'm sure. If you want to become a patron, go over to patreon.com/happyforchange. We haven't tokenized yet, so you got to go over to patreon.com/happyforchange.